Hi, this is Sherry at Her Kind of Wild, and today I'm going to talk about the vintage appliances that I've chosen and why I use vintage appliances. Now, this is Lucy, and a while back I did a video on doing laundry with her. I've used Lucy for 3 months, maybe, and I've done laundry every single week. I think I've gone to the laundromat maybe once or twice, and that's just because we've had an extremely wet year this year, and there were a couple weeks where I just needed clean underwear, and there was no way for me to line dry. So it wasn't Lucy that was the problem, it was the fact that I couldn't dry the clothes. So I'm overall super happy with Lucy. There are some caveats though. So the wringer can be really hard on buttons. I've replaced a few buttons, and I also kind of made some alterations to my overalls here to just make it a little easier to deal with Lucy. So one of the things, I had the hooks, and I actually switched to a Velcro. So I added these loops and then switched to a Velcro clasp so that Lucy doesn't break anything. And then these little flowers, I went ahead and made them pin on with these little pins so that I can just take them off, and I just wash them separately and then they don't go through the wringer. So other than that, Lucy has been amazing. So I do have to point out that Lucy is maybe 70 years old, perhaps older, and she still works great. So I can't imagine an appliance today that has that kind of staying power. 5 years maybe. There aren't too many like bells and whistles, although Lucy is rather fancy. She's a little bit older than some of the super primitive wringer washers, and so there is a timer that will automatically shut off on Lucy, and you can turn off and still have it plugged in, which a lot of the older ones, as soon as you plug them in, they're working. But all in all, I would say for the $100 that I paid for Lucy, she's certainly saved me that much in just 3 months at the laundromat, and I enjoy doing laundry. There's just something fun about, running things through the roller, and I still haven't caught my fingers in, although a lot of my viewers have shared horrified memories of getting their arm or whatever caught in the wringer. I've never had that problem. So last week, I got a new member of the Vintage Appliance family, and I am going to show you that one now. So this little gem is Ethel, and I had a hard time dating this stove, but it's, I think, probably a late 40s model Magic Chef. It's the apartment size model, so it's quite small, which is awesome for me. Right now, I have Ethel outside because I don't have room in the hovel, but the kitchen that I have designed for the house we're building, Ethel's just perfect for it. I also paid $100 for Ethel. I brought her home, hooked her to propane, and she works like a dream. So these are my super spicy ginger cookies, and I have made probably 10 batches of these. I've been super impressed with how evenly this cooks. A lot of ovens, your baked goods will be darker on the edges towards the outside and lighter in the center, or sometimes you have to turn them around because the back gets hotter than the front. These they're all evenly baked, and it takes exactly 15 minutes at 400 degrees every single time. So it maintains that temperature. I think I made 7 batches in one day, one after the other. So that means that it maintained that temperature that whole time, which is amazing. So another thing that I really love about this stove, and that is another thing I love about these vintage appliances, is they all have kind of like quirky design and they have really cool features. So look at this broiler. So I just love this. You know, you pull it out, your stuff is, and then you just close it. And there you go. I think I need to, it's kind of squeaky though. So the oven is super clean. In fact, this whole appliance was so clean when I got it. All I had to do was like scrape a little paint off this corner and wipe off the dust. It was in great shape. Look how heavy these oven racks are. Like, they are so stout and sturdy. They're heavy. They're hard for me to pick up with just one hand. So that's amazing. Now, Ethel does have a pilot light for the stovetop. You always have to light the oven with a match, which can be a little nerve-wracking. Just, it's not dangerous. It's just something that I'm going to have to get used to. But I disabled the pilot light on the stovetop because I don't want to waste propane, and I have this little guy here, and it's super easy to light your burners with this. There you go. So very, very, very there's a lot of variability. Like, you can have it really cool or you can have it super hot, and that's great for different foods. So this burner over here is a little bit different. These all have a rosette with 3 things in the center, and this one just has the outside ones. I suspect that that means this is kind of a simmer burner, but I'm not sure. And like I said, I've had a really, really hard time finding any kind of documentation about this stove. So if any of you know anything about these stoves, please drop me a comment. I would appreciate it greatly. So Lucy and Ethel are members of the family now. I so enjoy having these vintage appliances. I love how they look, I love how they work, and I love the fact that they're way older than me and they still work, because that seems to be a rarity these days. So if you have any comments, any questions, if there's anything else you'd like to see, or if you have information on any of these or memories of any of these appliances, please drop me a comment. I love your comments. I read them all. I try to respond to everybody, and we will see you next time.